Well, hey gang, welcome back to another edition of the Chingo Gringo beer review. Today we have a beer hailing all the way from the United Kingdom. Today's beer is made by a brewery called Wychwood. All right, just let me show you the label here. And so this is their label, okay? And this is their um flagship beer, Hobgoblin, legendary ruby beer. Okay, and let me show you the bottle cap here. It's really cool. There's the bottle cap. Got a goblin on there. So okay, so let me set the beer aside for a moment and tell you a little. Sorry about that. Tell you a little bit about the brewery. This brewery is in Witney, Oxfordshire, England, and let's see. Wychwood Brewery is owned by Refresh UK, which is owned by Marston's. And if you hear some basketball and other noises, kids playing around near the pool today. So, but anyway, I'll speak a little loud, and you guys should be able to hear me just fine. So, keep a smile on your face, Dennis. Okay, so more about the Wychwood Brewery. Okay, like I said, they're owned by Refresh UK. They produce about 50,000 barrels of beer a year, and it's cask ale, 50,000 barrels of cask ale beer. And what else? They're the United Kingdom's largest brewer of organic ales. So now, Wychwood got their name, Wychwood Brewery, in 1990. In the past, before that, they were known by various names, a couple different names there. I think Eagle Brewery or something like that, just before they changed it in 1990 to Wychwood Brewery. Now, Wychwood Brewery gets its name from the adjacent Wychwood Forest, which there are a lot of legends and tales about this ancient forest. And so this, of course, inspires the artwork that you see on all of their beers, which is really cool. Another another thing about their labels are very graphic. I mean, when I say they use graphics in the labels, and they were the first brewery to have a label with a graphic on it, and not just text. So these guys had the first one of the graphic labels. What else can I tell you about which one? In a past G8 summit or G28 summit or whatever they call it now, the Prime Minister of England, David Cameron, and Barack Obama exchanged beers. They're both craft beer lovers, and they exchanged beers, and the Prime Minister of England gave the President of the United States uh, a case of these Hobgoblin beers. So that was pretty nice of him, I thought. Um, I have a really cool slogan. Um, what was it? It goes like this. Um, What's the matter, lager boy? You're afraid you might taste something. That's how it goes. What's the matter, lager boy? You're afraid you might taste something. So they're taking a little jab at the big um, industrial industrial produced lagers in the country, and looking for um, a little stab at them. Okay, so I've told you a little bit about the brewery, and now this beer is known as I keep putting the bottle in front of my face. I don't know why I do that. This style of beer is known as English uh, strong ale, or English special ale, ESB for short. Okay. Um, Now the Wychwood Brewery calls this Hobgoblin beer a ruby beer. We might call it in America an amber, a red ale or something like that. But this is a ESB, a extra special or extra strong bitter style beer. So without further ado, let's pour it up and see how it looks. Let me move this a little bit over that way. Running out of daylight, I have to hurry up with this review here. Wow, this beer pours with a really nice head. I don't know if you can see that at home. It's a very nice amber. Yeah, you can see the light coming through. A dark burnt caramel amber color. Very dark. Not extremely dark. You can still see through it, but it's a really nice color. Now look at the head on this beer. Really nice. I don't know if I can get it there. Nicely packed, tightly packed bubbles. A very fluffy head on this beer, kind of like a souffle, kind of like souffle. So let's put a nose on this beer and see how the aroma is. I get notes of fruit, maybe some dark fruits in there. I get maybe some dates and ady some plums, perhaps some figs. I get a very bready malt character as well from the aroma. Toffee, maybe some caramel in there, and maybe just a hint or a note of chocolate. So that's on the aroma. That's all on the aroma. Let's put this beer to the taste test, shall we? Wow. Now I didn't tell you this earlier, but I took this beer out of the fridge and I let it warm up for about 20 minutes. Why do I do that? And you might say, wow, why do you do that? Let the beer warm up. Shouldn't you drink the beer cold? Well, not all beers are best consumed very cold. A beer like this, ESB, English strong bitter, is best consumed at room temperature actually. So also it brings out a lot of aromas that you don't get when the beer is very cold, and also flavors as well. Now in the flavor department, again, I get that biscuity, toffee, caramel, very nice tones there. What else? The dark fruits I mentioned before, some figs, maybe dates and plums there. Um, just a touch of maybe, I don't know, let me try again. A little bit of citrus, maybe a little bit of grapefruit actually, I can taste in there. Um, it's very nice, a very dry beer. It's not a lot on the sweet side. And a nice medium body beer. Not a heavy body on this beer. Very nice lacing on the glass, as you can see. Very nice head retention. You can still see it has a really nice head on it. What else? Maybe a little bit of chocolate flavor, just a little bit there. I'm tasting. But that biscuity malt flavor and the caramel flavor in that beer is really nice. Wonderful flavor to this beer. Okay, so I'm ready to give my my rating for this beer. I'm going to give this beer I just have to make sure, you know, I go on that last sip there. I'm gonna give this beer a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for Wychwood Brewery's Hobgoblin Ruby Red Ale. So, hats off to you guys at Wychwood Brewery over there in Witney, Oxfordshire, England, for producing such a really nice cask ale here. And so that's all. Remember, guys, to subscribe and comment if you have any, would like to make any comments on the beer. Um, Also, made any mistakes, you can comment as well. You'll leave your comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. And remember also to share this video with your friends and family. Okay? So that's all for this edition of Chingo Gringo from Cancun, Mexico. And until next time, remember, guys, keep pouring them up, keep drinking them down. Cheers, guys.